What's happening? It's your man BBondz. We are back with another RReport. So look, I want to tell you a story, and I'm hoping that my volume is up so that you'll be able to hear it, because I want you to be able to get this lesson for the story. Now, I'm going to take you back to 1999. I was singing with a singing group back in the day, and my group, we had a lot of promise. And we were trying to get to the major leagues, which was being signed by a major record label. And we were doing all kind of shows. I was running point as manager / in the group. And I was coming up with all kind of shows for us to do. And it took a lot of time for us to prepare and get our album done, which we did all on our own. We had to spend money. Shout out to Juju. We had to spend money to do the recording. We actually bought a lot of equipment between him and James, and we spent a lot of money, and we spent a lot of time. We took out maybe 2-3 weeks straight where we were just inside of James's small little bedroom in his mom's house recording all weekend. So our recording blocks would last somewhere around maybe 7 or 8 hours, 8 or 9 hours at a time. And we would sing our hearts out until we got every note right, every harmony was right. Because we had a little drill sergeant, we had to make it happen. So one day I was on Black Planet, I believe, and I found this ad for a showcase happening in Atlanta, Georgia. So I said, okay, you know what? This seems pretty legit. Let me check it out further. And upon further review, I called up the people and I got us booked. I had to pay a little fee, but at the time, we didn't mind. It was like $100 fee for us to be able to, to get in on the show. So from there, I said, all right, we're in. Let's figure this out. We got to get down to Atlanta. So myself, I think at the time, I was still in school, but this was the summer. So I was working a summer job, and I had to make sure that I had money to take this ride. So I worked hard, got my paper up, and I got to it. Everybody in the group got to it. So we had to get this money. So we raised up enough money, I would say, just barely enough. Maybe almost $1,000 between all of us. So we had to get a hotel. We had to get a rent-a-car. So we got the hotel and the rent-a-car. Got the rent-a-car on some low last budget type, Ford Explorer. So after we got the rent-a-car, we jumped in and began our little journey down to Atlanta, Georgia. So all of us were hyped, getting in the car, we're hyped. Everybody's excited, about to go down here and sing in Atlanta. Hopefully we'll be able to see somebody. And when we got in the car and we started moving, of course, there's that little bit of anxiety that goes with, when you're about to do something pretty great. And we started, vibing, singing, some of us sleeping in the car. We all excited, can't wait to get there. But we driving down and, one of my group members is speeding like crazy. And he had just got his license suspended. So we didn't know what was going to happen. happen. You know what I'm saying? We like taking a chance. We are literally rolling the dice. Literally rolling the dice. So, Tremaine is driving the car. He's doing probably about $1 easy, down 75. And then all of a sudden we hear the lights. Woo, 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 woo. We just got into Georgia. We just crossed the state line. And Tremaine gets pulled over. Now we're sitting here shook because he just got his license suspended. And on top of that, one of my group members was smoking some stuff in the car, smoking weed in the car. Now, we all told him, bro, what are you doing? You know, don't bring that with you. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we'll get something down there, but don't bring that with you. But he was hard-headed. He didn't want to listen. So we get stopped, and all of a sudden, it turns into a situation because there's 4 black men in the car speeding down 75 in a newer model Ford Explorer, and we don't look like college students. So the white officer, you know, not that it really should matter, but he assesses the situation, looks over things, and he's just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna need you guys to step out of the car. We need to do a search. So what they do is they pull the dogs out. They get the dogs out, and lo and behold, they run a search, and we're sitting on the side of the road, shivering, shaking like schoolgirls, because we're scared as hell they may find something. Now, even though he just had a little pinch or something, you know, like a joint or whatever, it wasn't that much, we're still sitting there scared shitless. So he goes in, brings the dog. The dog is rummaging around in our luggage and everything. I mean, he's really just having at it. And lo and behold, he finds something. The dog makes a hit. So just our luck. Once he made that hit, the officer put 2 of my guys under arrest. One for having well, you know what? Let me back it up a little bit. Once he found the stuff, he asked everybody, okay, I'm going to ask y'all, whose is this? Whose is this? Who's taking blame for this? Everybody's looking around at each other. I'm like, personally, I'm not taking this one because I don't even do that. So I'm not taking this one. Juju is looking like, nah, not me either. We all knew who it was, so we looking at the person who it was. We looking at him, dead at him, like, man, you better say something. So finally, my man Cliff was like, yeah, man, it's mine. So immediately, they arrest him, right? Now we're sitting up here, supposed to be heading down to Atlanta to sing in a showcase. And the showcase was billed that we'll be singing in front of 20,000 people at a fairground. So we excited, but then this right here just takes the air out the balloon, man, majorly. So now we like, shit, what's going on? What are we gonna do now? Our lead singer and our other guy is arrested, and we don't know what we're gonna do. We didn't bring enough money for no bail. So they said, okay, well, you know what? Follow us over to the precinct and we'll go ahead and get you guys processed. And, you know, you might be able to be on your way. We'll see what the judge says. So now we're sitting there, and it seems like we're there for hours and hours. And we're waiting. And I mean, this is like some heat of the night type stuff. Like we in an old country town. And it's just, oh man, it's just all bad. So once we did that, we get there, the judge, he was cool about it. He was like, all right, look, I'm gonna let you guys go. So I told him, I said, look, man, we just down here to sing. That's it. We got a show. He's like, all right, cool. You know what? You guys just got to put up a $200 bond for them and go ahead about your way. But they got to come back here next week for court. So we're like, all right, cool. So we get up out of there and we're like, oh man, big sigh of relief. But as you know, in these stories, where something bad has happened and people really don't learn their lesson, we get back in the car and these clowns are hitting 100 again. And at this point, I'm just like, man, y'all just don't learn, do you? Y'all won't be satisfied until they just take us in all together. So we finally get to Atlanta, and I know this is getting kind of long, so let me speed it up. We finally get to Atlanta, and once we get to Atlanta, we drive to the venue. We had to change clothes in the car. We were super late, and they really weren't going to even allow us to even perform, but we had to, I had to game them up just to try to get us, to be able to still perform. So they said, okay, cool. We'll let you guys go. So we sitting there, we waiting for about an hour. We dressed in the car. We didn't take a shower or nothing. We just straight off the road, straight into the venue. So once we did that, we start getting to the stage. And as soon as we get to the stage, did you know what happened? Yeah, the bad luck. It starts fucking raining. It starts pouring down, raining so hard. As soon as we hit the stage, as soon as our music is starting to go, it starts raining and people just disperse and they flee like roaches. They just break out. So now we're sitting on the stage. It's raining, coming down raining, and everybody's leaving. So it's probably about 4 or 5 people out there. And we out there singing. Oh yeah, we definitely weren't about to leave the stage because, we went through all that trouble. Nah, the show had to go on. We was definitely gonna get our pound of flesh on this one. So all of that happened. All of that. We went through all of that. Trying to get the money to get down there. Once we get down there, we get stopped by the cops. As soon as we get stopped by the cops, now it's in jeopardy in whether we're going to be able to perform or not. As soon as we get down there to perform, it starts fucking raining. People disperse. No one sees us really. So I say all of that. Everything we went through, we still kept going. We still kept going. But I say all that to say that in this music game, in this music industry, there are no shortcuts. There are zero shortcuts. This is not a game of, oh yeah, how fast can you get me signed? Oh yeah, I want to cut the line. I want to, get my music to high-level A&Rs, and I want them to see me and sign me ASAP. This is not a game for that. So if you're in it for that, then you might want to think about another profession, or you might want to reevaluate your expectations, level your expectations, because this is not that. But I'm here in New York, as you see. I get busy. I'm up here in New York City. It's a pretty good day out here. Columbus Circle. And yeah, man, I just wanted to tell that story. I got a couple other stories I want to tell as well. And probably won't take as long as this one. This is already at 13 minutes. So I'm going to end it right here. But yeah, there's no shortcuts in the music industry. You got to go through until you get through. You know what I'm saying? Push through till you get through. And my motto, positive minds move forward. I get at you guys on the next one. Peace.